a new Disney film just in time for the festive season. Obviously, that's all I wanted to do this weekend. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above. Yes, I went to see Wish this weekend, so apologies that this one is ever so slightly late, but I just could not manage to get it up in time for it to still be Sunday. But yes, it's a new sort of Disney classic, and there are so many like Disney Easter eggs, like classic Disney film features for you to watch out for in this one, which I am not going to spoil for you. The only one I will sort of say that's not really, it's not really a spoiler, but the fact that it shows that it's like a classic Disney film is the fact that it has the book that's opening at the start of the film. So just like Snow White, just like that kind of that first Disney feature film, we are celebrating Disney 100 at the moment, and yes, that nod back to Snow White. There are quite a few nods to Snow White in this film. But again, I won't spoil them for you because I'm sure you're going to go and see them for yourself. But yeah, the moment that you're sitting in your cinema seat and the book opens, you're like, oh, kind of you sort of sit back in that nostalgia-filled feeling. Yeah, we've got a classic fairy tale. We tell of this island where people go, they tell their wishes to their magical ruler, Magnifico, and they have wish ceremonies where their wishes are granted, and they sort of give up their wish when they turn 18. It's all very like coming of age, and then they have these wish ceremonies, and our main character, she sort of has an interview with the king, and she's very much like a free spirit, as are a lot of our Disney heroes and heroines. Free spirit, sort of does her own thing, and so yeah, she thinks that she would be a really good assistant to the king. But then she finds out what goes on behind closed doors, and that's where kind of the stepping off point for the film is. But what's really lovely is, in true sort of classic Disney fashion, she has kind of one parent, one grandparent. It's part of that reminded me a little bit of Coco, and then part of it reminded me a little bit of Beauty and the Beast. But then she's got this lovely friendship group who all kind of bake at the castle, and it's all very like Disney fairy tale, Disney parks, like baking at the castle type of thing, like oh, very sort of twee. And they are there for her, and then she has a baby goat who, if you've seen the trailers, that was what drew me to this film. I would see the baby goat in the trailers. The baby goat would make me laugh, and so I was sure that the baby goat would make me laugh throughout the film. So Valentino, said baby goat, did make me laugh throughout the film. There was one part where there was not just baby goat Valentino, but also a group of chickens, and I couldn't stop laughing. And it was wonderful. It was a wonderful way to spend part of my weekend, was laughing at this particular scene, which I will not spoil for you. But yes, Valentino is very, very funny and very much a classic Disney sidekick as well. I have to admit that I have been drawn to some of the Valentino merch. I'm like, yes, I am definitely drawn to that. He's like the classic comedy, punchline of the joke, everything you want a Disney sidekick to be, while still being there for the hero of the story and kind of being there as a bit of advice as well, a bit of a sage voice, as well as the comedy relief, as well as the punchline, which I really liked. I saw this film in a fairly full cinema, with a lot of children in the cinema of varying ages. I will say I was there alone, but I sort of wanted to give you an impression of what it's like if you're planning on taking children to this film. And on the whole, the children were fairly engaged, were fairly well behaved. Like there was the classic few of them getting up to go to the toilet and what have you, which you always expect when you go to see a kids film, more movement to the toilet. But there was no kind of moving around. And then when the sort of evilness of the classic Disney villain came in, I was sort of prepared for maybe some of them to be a little bit bothered by it, but I think that they were so wrapped up in the whole storyline of the film, there were no tears. So if that's a good measure for you, then I hope that's helpful. But the film itself's only an hour and 35 minutes anyway, and I did the classic kind of wait out the trailers before going in. I ate beforehand, and so I was going in there. I literally sat in my seat and the title card popped up, so that was great. And so I felt like, oh, I've only been in here for a few minutes, because I'm so used to seeing these films that are 2 hours plus. And it was really nice to see a sort of classic Disney film at a classic Disney length. Now, song wise, at the time of watching, I was swept up in the songs and I was enjoying the songs. But then having come to review it for you here, I don't feel like the songs, I don't feel like the songs were particularly memorable, but then I was sort of reflecting, and I think I felt that way after coming back from seeing Encanto. Like the songs didn't really stick in my head so much, but then, weeks, months after the film came out, people were singing the songs. I'd seen the film again, the songs were playing, and then when I went to see Disney on Ice a couple of weeks ago, the songs from Encanto came up and I was able to sing along. So I think it might be a grower in terms of the songs. So that's not such a Disney classic for me, because I remember going to see Beauty and the Beast and the songs sticking in my head, going to see Aladdin and the songs sticking in my head, going to see Frozen and the songs sticking in my head. So that's song wise, it didn't feel as Disney classic to me, but then I think that the songs may grow on me, and I'm not saying that I won't listen to the soundtrack in the coming weeks and months. So yeah, I think because of all the Easter eggs, which I'm again not spoiling for you, I think I would like to go and see this film again. Should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? I think it's definitely good value for money. As I say, there were children of varying ages in the cinema that I went to, and there was like wide ranges of families as well. So there was like big families that were there all going to see this one, and I think it does have a little something for everyone, because I did laugh a lot at some of the Valentino scenes, and kind of there was a sassiness to the main character and a kind of that egotistical quality to the villain, and so you've got those classic Disney nods, but there is a little bit of something there for everyone. And so in terms of like the value you're getting from your cinema outing, I think it's a good measure and a good kind of balance of what you're getting out of it. Do you have to go and see it on the big screen? No, you absolutely don't. But again, I think because it's only an hour and a half film, I think if you have got younger children, I think it would make a nice first cinema experience as well, because I think there's a lot for them to engage with there, and the idea of, the classic Disney When You Wish Upon a Star, that naughty star, and there's the star itself obviously does not talk, and so you've got a lot of those kind of visual cues and little mannerisms that the star does, but you know exactly what the star is saying, and so that's nice. And that's nice that something that you could kind of discuss with people afterwards. So how did we know what the star was thinking here? And yeah, like I say, I would be going to rewatch it if I have time. I would definitely like to see it again. But speaking of seeing movies again, if there is a particular movie you would like me to watch in the next week and bring my thoughts and reviews onto you here next week, then please do let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I will be back with more bookish content in the week for you. I have my December, last month of the year, TBR coming up, so you're not going to want to miss that one. So make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell, and I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.